indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, you've had there before you the adoption of the agenda and approval of the minutes. You have time to review those. If so, could I have a motion to approve them?
Motion.
There's
Second.
Motion and a second. You're fine. All right. Anybody else have any objection? Hearing none, all those in favor signify with that with your hand. Great, thank you. First on the agenda, something I love to do is student and staff recognition. I understand Mr. Tom's going out on that.
The first group that we'd like to recognize tonight is our high school varsity girls golf team. They were AAA state champions, and so they're joined today by a couple of the members and the head coach Matt Sims, the assistant coach Preston Gibbons. So I'll turn it over to Coach Sims.
All right, thank you guys for having us. This is Addison Taylor and Tori Beth Condon. They're our two returning seniors this upcoming season. Riley Brown and our graduating senior, A.K. Patton, was also a part of the state championship team this past year. So really proud of these girls. Coach Rusty Newman as well, who helps out with girls, and Coach Tom Parker as well. So it was kind of a team effort this year to get them across the finish line. But they did fabulous. At area, just to kind of give you an idea of how competitive things were, the top three teams at area were the same top three teams that finished at state. North Hall won our area. We finished third at area behind North Hall and White County. And then we defeated those two teams at state. We beat North Hall by 8 strokes. We were down 2 strokes going into the second round, so made that up pretty quick and ended up winning by 8. So these are your future, or at least for the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months for Dragon Golf. And they have a really good opportunity this year to defend their title as well. So it'll be interesting to see how things work out this season. So really proud of them, and hopefully we can do it again this year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Fifth. Boys finished 5th as well.
Coach Sims, is this the first championship?
Yes, the first state championship here.
Awesome.
Right.
They changed all cup directors cup, all cup standings.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
That's right.
Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Next up, we'll be bringing in our boys and girls varsity soccer teams. Our girls soccer team was region champions and state runner-up, and our boys were the Final Four team. And so a lot of accolades to them. So, Coach McCarty could not be here today with her team, but we're happy to have the boys team here. Like I said, they finished in the Final Four, so I'm going to turn it over to head coach Tyler Pineda and let him introduce himself and the team.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Like you said, I'm Coach Tyler Pineda. This is my 3rd year at Jefferson City Schools, and we're excited to be here. Honored to be here. Thank you for your support. It's been several years since we've made it to where we have been, and last year was just a little bit short from getting to the state championship, and for us, that's going to be an opportunity for us to hopefully get to that and continue to represent Jefferson with excellence. So thank you for your support.
You want to introduce them or let them introduce
Yeah, we'll let you introduce yourselves. I will say one thing. We don't have our seniors, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. Fortunately, they're in college right now. So they're doing the work and everything. But without their legacy, we wouldn't be able to be here today. So
just tell us what grade you're going to be in and what's your name.
I'm Brody, and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Aiden. I'm a senior this year. I'm Thomas, and I'm a junior this year. I'm Kingston. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Lopez, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Ian, and I'm a senior.
I'm Alex, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Billy, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Cohen, and I'm a senior.
I'm Aiden, and I'm a junior.
I'm Caleb, and I'm a senior.
I'm Christian. I'm a senior. I'm Clay, and I'm a junior.
I'm Simon. I'm junior.
My name is Andrew, and I'm a senior.
You got a good mixture of underclassmen as well as seniors.
Yes, very promising future, so excited.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's give them
Sir.
Sir, absolutely. I'll
We
take
hear
it.
great things about you, Coach. So.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being here.
And I will say, Coach McCarty is she helps with cross country, so she had a conflict, and of course her seniors, as Coach Pineda mentioned, have gone off to college, and we hate that we weren't able to recognize them. She's going to try to gather some for maybe next month, but if not, I know we're very proud of what they accomplished this season as well. So.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
I like their jerseys.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks good.
No. Mhm. Mhm. It was hot. Yeah.
All right, next up, we have our varsity baseball team that finished in the Elite Eight this year. And so we got several of their members here along with their coaches. So I'm going to turn it over to head coach Kyle Hardy for him to introduce himself, his coaches, and the players.
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Kyle Hardy. I'm with Lane Watkins. He is one of our coaches, and obviously we've got our whole team here. I told them they had to dress nice for this occasion, so
They look good.
in their Sunday best. So first off, I just want to say thank you to everybody in this room, and Jefferson is very special to me, obviously because I grew up here, and success here means a lot to me. So thank you to everybody in this room. We wouldn't be obviously who we are as a school without you guys. So, but yeah, this team this year, it was definitely the most fun team I've ever coached. As you look around, you can kind of see there's still some remnants of bleach blonde hair. They all did that as a team. They were super united as a team, and the connection and the bond they shared was the best I've ever seen in my time as a coach. But it was a super fun year. We started off the year a little rocky in the beginning, but we just kept getting better and better throughout the year, and we played our best down the stretch, which is the goal of any team. So anyway, thank y'all for having us here, and thank y'all for letting us be at such a special place.
I want you to let everybody introduce themselves and tell what grade they're in.
Yes, sir.
Kind of know what we got coming up.
Yes, sir. Timmy, you want to start?
Let's go, baby.
Timmy's our manager. Tell him your name, Timmy.
And what
I'm
grade?
Timothy Barr. I'm a junior.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan Reed and I'm play outfield for our baseball team.
Ray.
I'm a senior.
Senior.
I'm Dylan Verdi. I catch, and I'm a junior.
Owen Loftus, infield and junior.
I'm Reese Romans. I pitch, and I'm a senior.
I'm Trip Kelly. I pitch and I'm a junior. I'm Jackson Beasley. I pitch. I'm a sophomore.
Caleb DeLong, outfield, and I'm a senior.
I'm Luke Hunt. I'm a catcher and I'm a senior.
I'm Eli Prim. I play outfield. I'm a junior.
I'm Luke Bourne. I'm a pitcher and I'm a junior.
I'm Jackson Sims. I play third base. I'm a senior. Most of y'all probably know me because Mom was in there. But I'm Caden Duflo. I just graduated. I played first base in college. I'm Matt Heron. I just graduated and I was a PO last year.
I'm Kalen Kane. I played second. I just graduated last year. I'm Will Edwards. Pitched and I'm a senior.
I'm Casey Wolf. I pitch and I'm a senior. I'm Cody Brown. I play infield and I'm a senior.
Awesome.
It's great to have some
I
alumni
know.
here.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
you guys.
I want to know why I see all the blonde hair, but I don't see any over here.
Well, we
That
made
this year?
we made a deal with them. We had to make it to the state championship game before we went blonde.
All right.
So we got
This coming year, still, that agreement's still out there.
we'll have to talk about that.
Hey, state championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, great. Thank y'all and congratulations on your record and look forward returning.
Some's working out in the weight room.
And we hope that they'll have as good or better season coming up.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
for being here.
Yes, thank you.
And Coach Hardy, they look nice today.
Yes, they do. Very nice. Thank you.
I told them Sunday best.
They look great.
You know, Kay Hardy. Kay runs that store down there on the square. That's her son. No.
Just waiting on his daddy.
All right, next up we have our varsity girls and boys track teams.
He's gonna play us
I know.
They're everywhere.
So our boys and girls teams both were Region AAA champions, and the girls finished up third in state, and the boys finished up second in state. We have both of our head coaches here with us today, Coach Dean Stiff for the boys and Coach Lanisa McElhaney of the girls. So I'll turn it over to them, let them introduce themselves, and then let the players introduce them.
Coach Ted, thank y'all for recognizing us, first of all. Pleasure for y'all to have us here today. We had a great season this year. Our boys side, we broke 4 records, I think, from the 1970s this year. And in fact, and 3 of those were broken at the state meet, so that was really neat to see. So we had a great season on the boys side. A lot of seniors, though, unfortunately, they're all running in college right now, so we're getting ready to, at least I should say. But awesome season. Hopefully we can continue that success with a younger group. Do you want to talk? I don't know if you want to talk about the girls' team, or I can talk about it.
I can piggyback on that. Both of the teams were phenomenal this season. We have such a great group of kids, so we're looking forward to our younger group. We did have a lot of seniors. We also have a new state 3A track and field record for the boys 4x8 relay as well. And we're just looking for towards an awesome season. And I think
Just want everybody to introduce themselves and tell us what grade they're in.
okay.
I'm Chance Dalton. I'm a junior and I do high jump.
And
And I play in marching.
glad you got off.
I'm Peyton Birdwell. I'm a senior and I run the 3200. My name is Jessie Radiker and I'm in 12th grade. My name is Aubrey Kate Phillips and I'm in 10th grade. My name is Pozianne Halley and I'm in 10th grade.
My name is Benny Roberts and I'm in 10th grade. My name is Caden Strong and I'm in 10th grade.
My name's Alex Morrow and I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Lamari Hendricks and I'm in 10th grade. My name is Leonard Weedling and I'm in 10th grade.
Very good. Thank you. Coach, both of you, thank you for what you do. And it looks like you got a good group here. And hopefully they'll come out and help you again this coming spring. Find a few more to go with them. But
Yeah. They're off doing other sports too.
I'm sure they're
Our athletes are fall sports, so they're at games. Softball, football, field, right there.
That's great. Thank y'all for watching.
And Coach Tift, are you getting any sleep? Are you getting any sleep at night? He's got
What's
a
that?
new baby girl at home. So.
Sleep.
That's right.
She's doing good.
Coach, it was 4x1, school record for 4x1, 4x4, 4x8.
We did 4x2, 4x4, 4x8 this year. 4x1 came close.
Triple jump.
Triple jump, Mikey 400, Mikey 32 was CJ. So Keith Kenny 30. I don't know. Some of y'all may know some of Keith Kenny, and then Larry Johnson. Mikey broke Larry Johnson's triple jump.
So he finally broke Larry Johnson.
He got it. That's at state. That's at state meet. So, yeah. Old record there.
Last jump.
Last jump.
Keith Kenny was a great school record too long now.
Well, that 4x8 was Keith Kenny, Steve Venables, Fitzgerald,
and
Steve Kenny.
Yeah.
I think a lot.
So yeah.
You say Steve Kenny?
Kenny.
Steve Kenny, I don't know.
Thank y'all.
Yes,
Thank
Yes,
y'all
thank you.
very much for
Congratulations.
recognizing us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I'm ready.
Financial.
Yes.
Kim, are you ready with the financial reports? Which way you want to go
We're
first?
going to the general fund report. So we have for you the general fund report representing July's income and expenses. This is the start of our fiscal year. Like I said, revenue-wise, the main thing is the QBE from the state as well as the tuition collection. That's the main items received today. Tax collections we accrue for 60 days and they get posted against the prior fiscal year per state. I won't say state law, but financial reporting requirements. So those being received will be reported against FY 2025. Down below, you can see your expenditures in the categories. Obviously, our encumbrances are high because we always place all of our orders at the beginning of the fiscal year, whether it's software renewals or supplies to start up the school year. So that number will obviously come down as we receive those goods and pay those invoices. So we ended the month $7,555,021.76.
Anybody have any questions about that one? All right.
Okay. We'll go to the SPLOSH detail expenditure report. This report represents the past 3 months of detailed expenses paid out of the SPLOSH account. You can see before you the items. Obviously, the beginning of the summer is our busy time for a lot of our smaller projects and for ordering things like band equipment or our technology equipment that we're trying to get on board before the start of the school year. So you can see those expenses before you. You'll notice that the July receipt for SPLOSH revenue was $547,947, which was 2% greater than July of 2024. So it's always good to kind of look and compare and see how those trends are following as we utilize those in our projections on things that we can afford to be able to do in the future. So you'll notice on the bottom line that our bottom line SPLOSH balance is $10,961,000, but like I said, we're reserving that $8.2 million for projects. So that was the money that we borrowed out of SPLOSH and used to pay for the municipal project. So as far as like execution of SPLOSH expenditures, we're kind of focusing on that $2.7 million number as we're reserving the $8.2 million. Do you have any questions? I guess one thing just to kind of keep in mind, like we voted on that SPLOSH referendum back in March, and those new percentages will go into effect when the $100 million Jackson County cap is met. And based on, projections and revenue, that should happen maybe around the May, June timeframe. So in that timeframe is when the new allocations will take place. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on those as we move forward.
And I saw yesterday, but tell them what our percentage will be done.
Right now, it's 27.3. It's going to drop down to 29 point something. I forget the decimal point on it, but it's essentially a 10% decrease. It's a 3% reduction, but 3% over 27 is 10%. So it'll be a 10% loss in revenue. So if you think of 500,000, then we would only receive 450. That makes sense. So it would be about a $50,000 a month loss in revenue when we reach that point. So hopefully revenues go up so that the net impact is not as significant. So that's why I always say, regardless of the percent or not, it's always good buying Jackson County. We buy online. Jackson County benefits from it. But the more we have our folks in our communities shopping and buying. It's good for our local businesses. It's good that it comes full circle. And the school systems for sure benefit from that. Okay.
Anybody have any questions about the SPLOST report? All right, thank you.
Okay. And just a quick look at the SPLOST projection report. Again, this is kind of like a 5,000 viewpoint of our SPLOST account and kind of looking forward to future expenses that are paid out of SPLOST and what we're projecting balance-wise. So, obviously, the big construction projects, and we're going to see that in just a second, are being paid out of the PDA financing. So, this is more of your smaller ancillary projects that are funded out of this. So, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those.
All right, let's go to the next.
Okay. The next report, we'll look at the middle school project, so you can see where we are to date on that. Lots of numbers, but when you see, if you look down at the bottom, you can see that we've spent, 27 million of our project funds to date, and we've got 8.4 to go. And we're going to update from Mr. Parker a little bit later on as to how that next phase of the renovation and modification is coming along that they're executing on. So this project should be complete, I would anticipate, by September of 2026.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions about that one? The projection.
Okay.
And the middle school project.
Yeah, and then we'll look at the PDA report. So this report reflects financing that we received of 109 million, as well as the expenses that we have paid out of this particular account by project area. So you can see before you the middle school, construction management, the architect, and other expenses. That's things like furniture and then kind of like safety, security stuff that we have to do at the beginning of this project, as well as our daycare project that we just renovated and modified, as well as our first debt payment. I have to pay the debt back. So that includes that first debt payment. So you can see we ended that account at the end of July of $85,763,645. And I've also reflected the interest on so you can see what we're earning on interest on that account. Which that's running around.
Okay, anybody have any questions about this? Is the bond, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And last but not least, your utility analysis report. This reflects the month of July and compares July to the prior fiscal year. And so we can see big changes. Obviously, you can see the cost of electricity was up. And remember that our main buildings are on what they call real-time pricing. So as we had that big heat wave right before school started, those big heat waves impact us significantly. So obviously there's a consumption issue as well as, you'll see like the middle school, obviously consumption is up, more areas are covered. You can see the middle school particularly, you're up 75%. Well, obviously, the new gym, and they have all the new, square footage, like 60,000 square feet, the new area. So, anyway, that's a big chunk of the reason for the cost increase, as well as the RTP for those very, very high, greater than 95 days as well. So, I guess the only other thing, if you look down at the gas isn't too concerning. I would look down at water. And I think on that, you're going to find, like, where we were watering the lawn, I think obviously the construction from the prior year for middle school played into a higher consumption versus then they went to the water fire hydrant and used that to water the lawn. And, when they had the burrito and that stuff that was out front. So those kind of things make sense. So
it's crazy, though, that you go from 2,000 gallons to 69,000 gallons and the bill only increased $600.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
shows you not having sewer on that fire hydrant. Sewer charge, sewer type percentage.
Oh, yes, yeah. That high school number was sticking out to me, yeah.
It's straight
Yeah,
water.
right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, sewer prices, so that's the issue part.
Okay, anybody got any other questions or concerns about any of the utilities? That's all you have, Kim?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got a transportation report.
Mr. Weaver is actually driving a bus today, and
Why
so
is that not
I
surprising?
know. So you have attached there the transportation expenditures. The other report, we did not get that posted, so I'm going to just hit the highlights. And if you have any questions, we can, try to answer them, or we can get you an answer from Mr. Weaver. The fuel cost is $8,622.60, and that's up from $5,877.60 from the last 2 months. Bus service and repair, $15,161.21. And then we have the transportation department personnel. All the route drivers are in place, and we're going to all knock on wood. But there is a need for a sub driver position, so Mr. Weaver is still searching for a sub driver. We are running 18 regular ed buses, 3 special needs buses, and 1 GNATS route. Obviously the field trips and the athletic events are starting to keep the transportation department busy, so we will start to see that those trips are added almost daily. And the updates, the camera system has been received, but they're waiting on installation. On day 1, Mr. Weaver and his department transported 2,633 students. On day 4, they transported 3,103 students. So a lot of people decided quickly they didn't want to sit in the car line, so they put their children on the bus. But I would like to, I think you all join me in this. Mr. Weaver does a fantastic job. That's a huge task for him to get all of those routes balanced and with his department. And so we certainly appreciate everything. We've had a great start, and we appreciate what he's done to help get those children to and from school safely.
Approximately 3/4 of our student population who rode the bus
Right,
that day.
right. They're waiting. We've received them, and they're working on installation, so hopefully we'll have that done within the next couple of weeks, or maybe I don't really know how long it takes to get that installed, but hopefully that'll be quickly. Yeah, that's right. No, well, we have the existing cameras that are there, but the new cameras will be upgraded. So we're still able to capture some things that are happening on the buses while we're waiting on the new system. That may capture more. I don't know.
All right. Anybody have any questions about the transportation report? Hearing none, the instructional program report.
Okay, let's see, the first thing that you're gonna see there on the screen will be our top, you can click on that top link. That's a summary table of our data from last year. And I'll just give you a quick rundown to remind you about what everything is in the table. On the left column, that is, you look at all of those names of courses. That is what we call the Georgia Milestone Assessment System. Like that's the GMAS that sometimes you'll hear people refer to. Each one of those courses has what we call an EOG or an EOC. EOG is end of grade, EOC is end of course. That's reserved for high school courses, EOC. I provided for you in the second column where we fell in the RESA ranking. And then that next part that says percentage developing learner and above, that would be what the state considers students who are passing. So those are percentages for Jefferson in red, and then for the state of Georgia in black beside that. The last part there is the percentage proficient learner and above, because as you know from last year's discussion about this at our board retreats. That is really what we want to focus on. We want more and more students to be in that category. Again, Jefferson is in red, and then the state of Georgia is in black. And I won't take your time up to go through very many of these, but I want to point out one for you. If you will look at the 8th grade physical science, we had a conversation about this last year because you asked about this one, and right now you see that we are, if you look at the RESA schools, the school districts, you will see that our school district is 5th. But what I want you to know, I'm going to remind you from last year, is that we are, I'll say unofficially, this is my eye looking at the data. If you look at the N, the number of students being assessed, we are number 1 in our RESA, I think. Now, I didn't call all the schools to ask them how many people they had in their 8th grade class. But judging by, some schools in our RESA assessed 29 students. You know they didn't test their entire 8th grade. We assess all of our 8th grade. Oconee County looks like Oconee County assesses all of theirs. It looks like Jackson County assesses all of theirs. Our middle school was number 1 among those, which I think tests everyone. So that's a significant improvement from last year. Last year we had about an 80% pass rate, and this year it's over 90. So the middle school really did a good job. Any questions? I'm standing up because I'm walking through the GD, so don't think I'm going to stand up and do a dance or anything. But any questions about that you have? So I want to show you day 9. Well, it could be day 8 or day 7 of our orchestra class. I received this on day 9. I hope that they stay quiet for just a minute.
Oh.
May I say one thing about that? Yes, please. They call themselves the OG. They're the original group.
Original group.
We went to put a new kid in the other day, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we're the OGs. We can't mess this up." They were very welcoming. They totally accepted the kid, but they have labeled themselves, and they're very proud.
We are too.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, right, Mr. Hopkins?
I've been asking and asking.
For a long time.
Jillian adds a student, she texts me and goes, "Hey, we're up to 8 now."
That's great. Thank you.
And just to go a little further with our music programs, you see on Roman numeral 3 there, the band submitted different performances for invitation only. They were selected to do 3 different performances this coming year. 2 bands out of 20 were selected to go to Reinhardt. They are one of those. 2 bands were selected to go to the University of South Carolina to perform. They're going to that. And then 8 were selected. Listen, 8 out of over 40 across the whole Southeast were selected. And they're going to that at Georgia State. So quite a few accolades there for them, as well as the fact that we received this perform in December at the GSBA conference. So Tony Arati has been in contact with Nick, and they got it all planned out. So I'm very excited about that. So it's going to be on Thursday morning, right after the governor talks, our band. So it'll be a big session for them. They're excited.
Oh, that's great.
Then you see on the front number 4. Can everybody read the cursive writing? The John Hancock Banner and Ribbon of Distinction is new, given by the Georgia Department of Education. I think this might be the first year that they did it, or last year was. If 90% of your students can write their name in cursive, then they are awarded the John Hancock Banner and Proficiency Ribbon. But if 90% of the students can also write in cursive the preamble to the U.S. Constitution, then you receive the John Hancock Banner and Ribbon of Distinction. So both the middle school and the academy received that award for last year's students.
Very good.
So we're very excited about that. Then Roman numeral 5, I just wanted to give you a brief synopsis of House Bill 307. I know you guys will be hearing about it in probably some of your trainings that you're doing, but last year we had 2 different bills, and they have combined those now to be one. So now it's the Georgia Early Literacy and Dyslexia Act, as opposed to last year that was 2 separate things. This law provides provisions for students who are significantly at risk of not reaching grade level reading proficiency or those with characteristics of dyslexia. And the law requires several things of school districts. I've just highlighted 4 there for you because these 4 are the things that I think will come up most often in meetings that you may attend. Number 1, we are required to administer an approved universal screener. There's only 5 that you can choose from the state of Georgia. Or actually, the 5 were approved by the Deal Center. And we administer those 3 times a year, and that's not new for us, but we did have to select one from that list. So the name of ours is the Amira screener. The second point there, you see we have to approve or provide high-quality instructional materials. That also is not new for us, but it is required by law to be aligned to the science of reading. And you hear a lot on the news, you listen to NPR, you're going to hear about the science of reading. That is just a phrase that refers to 5 decades of research on how children best learn to read and how to teach reading. So there's nothing magical about that phrase, science of reading. It's kind of getting thrown around a little bit magically right now, but our curriculum now must be aligned to the science of reading required by law. So that is new for the state of Georgia for students in grades K through 3. And then we are required to implement for those same students tiered reading intervention plans if they show that they are at risk for not reaching grade level proficiency in reading. And then the last point that I'm making, again, it's not the last point in the law, but the last point that I provided for you here is just that we also are required by law to provide training and support for our reading teachers, which of course you know is everybody at the elementary school and then also includes those teaching reading at the academy. So it's just a brief synopsis just because that it just changed just a little bit in May, and I wanted you to be aware of that. Anybody have any questions about it? So next you see that we have had our 2nd annual safety training. Last year you will remember that in October, right after last year, we had a safety summit for our entire staff. This year we had it during pre-planning, and we plan to do that each year. In that safety training, our staff received AED and CPR training, first aid, and stop the bleed. We were able this year, because after the safety summit last October, teachers said, we really would like to have stop the bleed kits. We were able this year to provide every classroom with a stop the bleed kit. So already in classrooms, we have what's called a red bag. It's an emergency bag. And now inside that red bag is also a stop the bleed kit. Tom, did you want to say anything else about that?
No, we just want to say thank you to Piedmont Hospital for providing that training. They came out and we had 449 people signed up. We had right at that number get trained that day, so it was pretty awesome to do that. And so it's something that those skills that you don't get to do a lot, fortunately, but it's something that you do need to practice a lot. So it was good that.
Then Abby Bipperman, who is our new mental health therapist, she is starting a parent book club. We're very excited about this. The first topic, it's going to explore current topics that are pressing for those parents and students. The first book she's going to do with them is The Anxious Generation, and it's really exciting. It's designed specifically for our parents who have students K-12. So we're very excited about that. She's developed lots of different ways that she's going to meet with them, both in person and virtually. So that's nice. And then we have some budget information. So you want to talk over the CTAE part?
There it is. It finally came up.
So the first one is just CTAE budgets. This is our award grants for the state, and we'll be putting these as an action item tonight that we'll be expending these according to the regulations laid out by the State Department. And you can see those include our Perkins 5 allocations, which is for professional development and improvement of our programs, extended day for 4 of our teachers, and then also our industry certification. Our healthcare science will be going through industry certification this year, and so they got a grant to help facilitate that, and then some extended day for our ag teachers.
Okay, and then I'm also going to show you the federal programs budget, and I'm just going to ask Ms. Jody Stevens, who is the Director of Federal Programs, to give your rundown.
So for Title I, that is the grant we get based on our free and reduced lunch percentage, and we use that for the academic achievement of our most at-risk learners. Title IIA we use for teacher professional development. Title IIIA is for English learners to help them with their English proficiency. 4A is the whole supports for all children, and it's digital literacy as well. IDEA 611, that's our special education for elementary students, so ages 3 to 21. And IDEA 619 is a supplemental grant for preschool students ages 3 to 5.
And then last, yes, did you have a question?
I was going to say, have you seen any reduction in those federal programs from the?
A couple of them were reduced, and a couple went up a little based on our numbers. Because like our English learners, we increased like 20 students last year, so that one went up a little bit, but some of the others went down. Overall, I think we were up just slightly.
But have you seen any adverse effects of at least the beginning to dismantle the federal Department of Education?
I guess just waiting to see if we were going to get our funding, and it finally came through last Friday. So
it did? Okay, good.
Not knowing what the future was going to be.
And delayed the allocations for several weeks, so we were unsure of how much or if any would get, but they released them all last week.
The full 1.062 million. Basically.
Go ahead.
Then last, just for technology updates, I'll say that Julie Noland is our new digital learning specialist, and she has just finished her second week and already is providing professional learning for our teachers. Back to that House bill, we are providing training on our new Amira screener. So she's at work with our teachers already. We're very excited about that. And of course, I want to say thank you to Wayne. Oh, I was like, Wayne Wheeler is here. He is running the computer for us today, but he is also transitioning slowly into keeping one foot in the classroom and one foot as the network administrator. I think Dr. Ramon's going to talk to you about that a little bit later. So I want to thank him for being here and being willing to do that.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions about anything Dr. Hicks covered? All right, good. Facilities report. Tom, you get that?
Yes, sir. Just a quick update on the construction project at the middle school. As you can see, there's not as much going on right now because of trying to get ready for this, but they are able to continue on the lower half of the connections hallway. And so And the great thing that Carol Daniel has done for us is you can't even see it. When you walk down the hallway, it just looks like the doors are closed over there. Casey and Thurman and his team have done a great job of kind of keeping that behind the closed door, so to speak, and it really makes it a very good environment for our kids. But they're getting the walls up, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing have been roughed in the walls, and overhead exterior windows are in, and then top of the wall framing and sub-ceiling has went in over there. So they're making good progress on that, and we're on schedule to get that released back. And then I'll have some pictures of the existing gym at the end where you kind of see with that demo, they've really made some progress on that and done some things to help save us some money and reuse some of the things in there. So all that's moving along well. We feel really good about that timeline of getting those released here in the fall. And
all the old doors get
I think he's finished.
Yep, as far as I know, they did. Press Rock's construction update. There's some flooring that needs to be done in the windows. It's just a little small punch list, but it will be in use tomorrow night. Dr. Wheeler has already started moving in his streaming equipment and filming for the football team, and the coaches will be up there. So we're excited about that. I've got a picture of that later. I know y'all seen it, but just wanted to show it again because it looks so good. And so we appreciate y'all doing that. It really looks good. Just a couple items. You'll see these later on in some action items. We've been looking at adding on the Memorial Stadium complex as a part of our strategic alert system. We have so many kids that are over there during the day for adaptive PE, practices, athletic events, and so we needed to add to our strategic system the site. And so what we did is we got them to come out and look at adding the field house, the Memorial Stadium, and the practice field complex. And so this cost that you'll see when it comes about will give us full coverage of all that, and it would allow our badges that we wear everywhere to be used over there to be fully functional. So that would be a big asset, we think, for the teachers and staff to have that, even as like the party said, in the game, they needed help, extra help, or if something happened and they needed to get help to the fields. So we'll bring that up as an action item, and that'll be that should get us pretty well covered everywhere for that. The next action item that you'll see later on is the turf installation for the playground area out in front of the academy. This turf is going to cover the entire playground area and a couple of additional locations at the main entrance. From what we saw the other day, it's really going to be a great space for those kids. And if you've been over there during the day, they're out there playing, and this is going to help also with Ms. Ferguson's keeping us always playing too. So not going through that red clay all the time. So Mr. Hicks has done a great job of acquiring some really good proposals for this, and done a good job of getting us one that gives us a lot of bang for the dollar there. So we're excited to bring that to y'all today as an action item. But we really think it's going to be a great addition to the academy.
Ms. Ferguson, as far as keeping the hallways clean, are you going to transition everybody to the front and keep them off of those ugly areas there in the back, or do we need to do some more in the back?
Well, the playground is still in the back.
Yeah,
and we have so many kids, we have to use both front and back areas. Yeah. But in speaking with Mr. Hicks, he does have some lower cost ideas to address that area in the back that we just can't get grass to grow. Yeah. Nothing will grow there.
These guys find it okay.
But you have had an issue with, because of the grass being also messy, some classes won't use that front area. So this does allow you to shift some of the numbers from the back to the front. Yes.
The crowded
yes.
areas, it'll really provide two distinct areas for the kids to play when we've got almost 350 fifth graders. So we need to split them up. Mm-hmm. This is going to be very helpful.
And Mr. Higgs even looked at that possibility of some of the dirt that comes off when they're leveling and grading it out, which we know is not going to be a tremendous amount, but maybe could be used back there in that back area to bring the levels up, reuse like that, in some other spots. So
just for clarification, we've got some Hicks now. So
no,
Mr. Hicks,
it's Eddie.
Mrs. Hicks, and that's Dr.
But Mr. Hicks is spelled differently.
Yeah. I have to process this. We can't go Savannah Sherry.
Eddie.
That's what I had to say. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Bond.
Two of them are HIX and the other one's spelled a little differently. So
Just say them the same.
that's right. Let's say them the same.
The next item is the covered practice facility. We're excited to bring this to the board too, because we think it has a great additional space for our students to practice athletics, but also extracurricular activities due to program growth and enhancement. You can see today we had a lot of spring sports in here that were getting recognized and giving them the ability to practice inside facilities, but also we have so many events over there that we will be able to protect from that. And we're excited to bring that to you also, because we think that it's so much use. And again, with that turf under there, it just brings a ready to go space.
When are they going to start, roughly?
Last time we talked to them, that I heard was they were waiting to get a date on the steel. As soon as they got that, they would give us that phase in the project when we start planning. But they thought that they were going to be ahead of that. 12 weeks originally gave us of that, so they thought that they could move it up faster than that. So hadn't heard back from them on that yet. Just wanted to list some things. Y'all have, as Ms. Navis reported earlier, we spent some funds to update it this summer. Just kind of wanted to give you an idea of some things that we have got completed. The strategics at the middle school, where we added on the extra square footage there, we got that in. They got that up and going and tested all out of the day. And I'll say this, they did a great job. Miranda just led them all around the district and just fixed all kinds of stuff while they were here. So they were able to get a lot of little things fixed for us that day. So we appreciate them doing that. All the parking lot striping has been completed for our handicap spaces and our walking paths that we added. Marina painting, when you go in there in the bowl, you can see where we've added that red striping for the distinction between that step has been added in there. The watch your step padding, our extra layers at the bottom there has been added, so it really defines that area, make it a lot safer there. And then the steps have been repainted also. The walking pathway behind elementary that gives it for the 10th graders that we're putting over there in the baseball field, that is done, and it got true test that first week with that heavy rain. And so Trey Cole and his team did a great job putting that down. They only have a little bit of just a restructure to do on that, and it's getting used right now. I think I counted 11 cars there today, and I'll say 12 because my son's in parking there, and that was 12. And so we're starting to see that. The HVAC and the student services got replaced, and I know those ladies and gentlemen were very excited about that. Ms. Hardy was so excited to give that to them, but that's working well, and they endured that for several months, but that's working good there. And then obviously up there at the stadium, there's a lot of things that have been going up there along with the repaving and the pool area. But we did the landscaping where we took down the fence that had the blue on it. You'll see that tomorrow night with the new sod on it. There's a new fence behind the concession stand. There's new lighting that Jackson MC came out this week. We appreciate them coming out, getting us some extra lighting up there. We had some painting done on the concession stands. All kinds of things up there. And it really looks sharp up there right now, and we appreciate y'all doing that. And so lots of good things there.
The doors really jump out. They've gotten really bad. But
Dr. McMullen pointed those out when we got there, and Eddie did a good job of getting some of that, some painters over there, so it looks really good.
Yeah.
Maintenance update, Russell was not able to be here today. He had an appointment out of town, but he said the biggest thing right now, obviously, with this weather is just dealing with the air conditioners and all that. He had a couple down, but he felt like the last time I talked to him, they would have those back up and running today. He was able to get the parts in. And so he was, he said that's, keeping the peace right now, keeping the HVAC units up. Then at the end, I just got a couple of pictures here of the old gym. You can see here on your left right there is where they're kind of keeping the gym floor. We'll keep that on the dance cheerleading side. Another layer up there, and the other side would be the wrestling room. So you kind of see where they're getting that demo going. Well, right there on your right there, you can see where they kind of taking that wall down and going to the end up being the new weight room right there. So they're making good progress there. And then on the bottom right, I'll skip over that other one, is the ceilings that I was talking about earlier that they had gotten done over there on the connection side of the hallway. And then there's the lettering and the new parts of the press box that we got completed there. Those lettering did a really good job. Distincting that, I'm glad we were able to get that up.
Let me ask you one other thing. On that, right there where it says memorial, there's a speaker right there in the middle. That's where the water drops off of that onto Coach Griffin.
Hopefully after tomorrow it won't. That's the goal. Yes, sir. That's where I saw it.
It was dropping earlier today.
Yeah,
I think you
So
called.
Russell something.
that's what he's telling me.
You called right.
Not been running in the last
You noticed?
2 weeks.
It's gonna
I
drip.
think
Just
it's still
condensation
off.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't sure. It shouldn't be off of those new units. We got those new units going down the gutter system. They tapped that out. Their first indication was just water built up from these clogs and that in fact up that sink. That's what they called it.
It looked like the sink had come apart.
Yeah. So that's what they're gonna try to do up there tomorrow. Get that cleaned out. And some kind of solution.
And also, I was discussing with Tom earlier, right there on the line where it says Brian King track, is that where we would put a diamond J on both sides of that. He had what I thought was a better idea, so tell us about that.
And I won't take all the credit. Bill and I talked about this when we first started looking at it. Up there above the third level is maybe trying to figure out how we get an LED diamond J that would be on at night too, so when people came by, it would kind of glow up there above it. And so, you know, I love what Trocker was saying about getting the diamond J over there and branding over that. So if we can figure out a way to get it on that line with the Brown and Beaver, get an LED up there, I think would be good. And that way we got some branding even at night. It really comes by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, somewhere in the stadium, too, our old brag board, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it is, okay. Today, I was just thinking I'll be honest with you, for lack of a better word, from an intimidation standpoint, I always liked when teams got off the bus and saw 63 state championships.
65. We'll have to 65 now. We'll have to update it. Yeah.
When they got off the bus and they were doing their field walk, I always liked that brag board.
I know that's in the works, so.
We'll see if we can have a couple of people holding it up tomorrow night. Get some volunteers.
That already have on facility.
All right. Yes,
Enrollment
sir.
update.
Enrollment update. I have been keeping the board apprised of the numbers for the last 10 days. And so 10-day count, which was actually today, we are at 4,271 students. That is compared to the first day last year, we're up 1 student. So it's hard to, track the student enrollment, and we know that this number will continue to increase probably as we approach Labor Day. We always see additional students enrolled, and so we'll track this again along the way, but then we like to do this at the beginning of the second semester because January we typically see a little bit of a jump in our enrollment as well.
I shared with Donna the other day, we're about 55 kids, below what we were projecting.
From the study 5 years ago.
From her projection.
Kind of rolling up in the 90 growth too. So I would say 55 plus, it looks like it's about 20 kids less on here than what's in Infinite Campus. So that would make it about 75. So we're at 75 below. But that's what I told Donna. I said they don't come in perfect packages. So like second grade, you'll hear Chrissy say second grade is higher, but first grade is lower. So it's kind of all around. Like you said, Jessica has a class of 350. On her third grade level. So yeah, I'm sure more will come.
I love that you do that.
Yeah.
Still, we need to prepare.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why I said I'd rather prepare and let's go forward, and we have to use those growth values.
Like that all but, what, 2 classes, total class, attendance is above 300. 1, 2, 3, session 3 that's not. All right. Y'all get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the budget.
All right, so we have the FY26 budget to lie on the table, so you have that attached there for your review. And what we do is we will have the budget to lie on the table for 30 days for public review, and I'm going to ask Ms. Navis to just briefly point out the highlights within this budget, if you don't mind, and if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer those.
I provided y'all a copy of the budget as well as highlights for your information. So if you're asked any questions, you can have that to refer to. Like we had before you, the revenues over last year, our QBE saw 147 student growth in it. Because remember, QBE, it looks at historical information, it takes the averages of 3 FTE counts, so that information is used to project going forward. So that FTE increase is incorporated in here, as well as our health insurance premiums went up. The state does fund us for a fair amount of the certified, but we did not receive funding for non-certified at all. And so there's about 20 folks that are not funded on the state side of it, or certified, and all of non-certs not funded by the state. So those health insurance premiums went up. It's $22,620 per person per year that enrolls in the policy, an employee. So if they have a family policy, they pay $22,000. If they have a single policy, we pay $22,000. So that increase is partially reflected in the state's money that they gave us, as well as the teacher retirement system rate went up from 20.78 to 21.91%. Also, local fair share. This is the one where they withhold the 5 meals from you that they're required to. That amount went up, so we saw a loss in funding for local fair share based on the growth of our digest values. So those numbers are reflected in here, and that was like a $500,000 decrease in funding for the local fair share side of it. Tax revenue. This is the one that I wanted to share with you guys. We just received the tax digest information, and it's actually going down. Never, I mean, other than when we had an economic downturn, have I seen our tax digest go less than it was the year before? And so I shared with you some of the reasons for the basically tax digest staying neutral for us. We increased the senior tax exemptions that's on the ballot, and so that tax exemption change was a loss of revenue of $655,000 as far as an increase. So previously it was around like $200,000, it went up to like $800,000. So we saw an uptick, due to folks that applied for the senior tax exemption. Also, compared to the year before, we had 3 commercial properties that went into appeals, and so those created a loss of like $250,000 over last year's numbers. So we didn't get that money, but it was part of the digest values the year before, so that's why I'm referencing it here. The other thing that was a change over last year, and I told Ronnie and them, I don't know how much it would have resulted. I'm sure it would have resulted in some level of exemptions, but in the industrial, it's called personal property. Basically, it seems like inventory and things like that. We saw those numbers take a significant drop over the year before, the tune of like 119 million. But I will say, even though that wasn't reflected in the digest values, typically those fall off on exemptions, as Freeport exemptions, as inventory. I can't say 100% that would have been a one-for-one change, but I do say that, that number was significantly less than the year before.
How many million?
119 million.
Million in inventories.
Yeah.
Is that just inventory or is that like?
It's industrial
equipment?
inventory, yeah, it's
You know
industrial
what it may
personal
be,
property.
because I know like my inventories are way down, because during COVID, lead times got so long that we had to order so far ahead that it was just killing our cash flow, because we were just having to stockpile stuff just to have it, not run out, to where now, all of a sudden, our inventory is about half of what it was, say, 2 years ago. I bet you that's a lot of it. The
I
same,
think that
people in
could
the same
play
shoes.
into it. Some folks reference the tariffs. I don't have the full explanation as to why, the inventory would be so low compared to the year before. But, when we look at the values, that's what we can see that, that particular area did take a hit for us. Residential went up slightly, over the year before. Residential increased like 5%. But like I said, industrial took a hit of 20% less in the tax digest. So, but like I said, overall, it's resulting basically in a revenue neutral for us. And if I go back to the retreat that we had back in March, conservatively, I always anticipate around 5, and I try to even push it close to 8%, because for the past several years, we've been way more than 10%. So I use the 5% value, which I projected $1 million credit. And when you go from $1 million to 0, that's a pretty hard hit, which you'll see before you. The only way to get it is to go to your reserves. And that's why you see the reserve number looking at like 4.3 million on the budget, which will cut our fund balance almost in half. So we're working through that, trying to figure out, if there's other opportunities for any other savings, of course. We just got some information from the tax commissioner's office. So looking at what the rollback rate is, obviously, they might be able to increase slightly to be neutral, and that'll kind of help us close the gap a little bit. But like I said, we're trying to make it work as best we can and figure out, like I said, with fixed costs, like we mentioned. I mentioned to you guys about like state health insurance. So as an example, on the non-certified side, that costs us an extra $5,500 per person. So times the number of folks we have, that was almost $500,000 hit financially. Like I said, we don't get funding for 100% of all of our certified staff, so that costs about $250,000 there for the non-certified positions. It's not funded by the state. And of course, we've added some positions based on programmatic and growth projection needs. So those things are built into this plan, as well as things like utility costs. You can see it on there for the additional square footages. So we have to have custodial support and, utility costs that goes along with these areas. So it's kind of like trying to build all the pieces together, and you're experiencing growth and having to pay for these things, but you're not seeing the offset that you typically would as far as the digest is concerned. So. But like I said, I'd be happy to talk more about it. If you have questions you think about after the meeting, please email or call me. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions about that?
So like I said, we have to lie this on the table. We have to advertise it in the paper. And then the plan is that hopefully we'll fare it out with the millage rate in those meetings or if they need to happen or not, but what that will look like and circle back with everybody and then do what we need to do by the September board meeting.
So the goal would be to set the millage rate in September.
That would be the goal, yes.
Again, anybody have any questions? Just a lot of numbers, and we went over most of them yesterday, but we're in a tough situation in that we have so much increased cost, and like I said, she's talking about taking 50% of our fund balance the budget. One more year like that, and we'll be down to zero. And I've seen that fund balance be needed. I remember when I guess the governor told everybody they were going to have to change how much they paid everybody, and in the middle of the year, so you had nowhere to get the money other than on your own fund balance or go borrow it. So I've seen that, and the fund balance is important, and that will float us, as you see right here, that will float us through some hard times. It looks like we may be on those hard times right now.
And the other thing too, just like we always talk about, tax-wise, we don't get our first tax revenue until like the end of November. If we're lucky, the tax bills technically are due in December. So, a school system that's on that tax cycle, has to float themselves for a solid 5 months. And so we are going to have to borrow, in order to, what we call a TAN, a tax anticipation notice, to float us through. So we'll be having that come before everybody, probably, the September month as well, just to prepare ourselves and line up so we can close those gaps until the tax revenue comes in. So.
As y'all can see, what Kim has said, the state health premium increase continues to kill us every year. And again, this year, because of, again, more staff and the increase in the amount we pay is really high. And so we're going to have to fight that battle.
From an overall digest perspective, I understand inventories going down. Maybe my little theory is right, or it's probably somewhere in the middle. But from an overall tax digest, once you take out the inventory part of it, or just property values themselves, they didn't go down, did they?
Some of them did.
Well, I know, but overall.
Yeah.
Total.
Like I said, residential went up 5%. Agriculture actually went down 2.6%.
So either more people are putting stuff in conservation, or there's been a different tax valuation strategy formula.
I think there was some big adjustments on the commercial and industrial side for sure. Some appeals by the commercial entities, and so those went into effect last year. So that's what I'm saying. It
just doesn't make any sense unless you're in a 2009, 2008 scenario.
Exception, the extra 665,000. That's mitigating any growth too. You know what I'm saying? So that skews.
It's just shocking.
Well, in the residential, the way you look at that, it should have been more, and it's reduced by that exemption, age exemption, and because all of those would be reducing residential property. What do you say? What, $600 and some thousand?
$665,000.
Exactly 2/3 of them,
Yeah, pretty close. That's and of course that goes into the residential valuation. Even though it was up, it would have been up $600,000 more if we did not have that.
Well, like you said, it's when we talked about this, it's a tax shift. It's, at the end of the day, it's
So Willie and Godine and me, well, thank y'all for paying our share of the taxes.
A long time to get there.
It took a long time to get there. I know. Well, we'll work some more on this and we'll get back with you about how we're gonna approach it, how we're gonna lick this cat. All right, anything else, Kim?
I mentioned about the TAMP, I just want to kind of keep your eyes at that as well as obviously this budget.
And the budget would be to lie on the table, as I mentioned, for 30 days, and we'll consider it again in September. Again, if anybody has any, you get home and you say, well, what does this mean, or anything, give Kim a call. She can
Got lots of other spreadsheets. And I'm happy to. More eyes looking at it, like I said, it's, yeah.
Don't ask me, so this mailbox is full.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I will say this, I mean, 667,000 divided by 19.8 million on M&O taxes, that's 3.3%. It's really, if you'd asked us 6 months ago to predict a number, I would probably predict a little more than that.
I would have too.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah, they,
Could have been worse.
I was surprised, houses, we did have it increased from, the prior year was like 661 properties, and it went to 863, so 202 properties, additional properties went into.
But it wasn't the same amount.
Huh?
Wasn't the same amount.
No, but I'm just saying that more folks participated in it that, didn't know they qualified or qualified for more, so it's like 863 properties, so it's $72 million, altogether.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Action item.
All right.
I've had enough of the negative. All right, the first thing we have on the spending or action items is the spending resolution. And this is the document that Kim was talking about that requires that we sign, that says that we will fund our operation at the same rate we did for July 1 last year, or July last year. But it's for the month of July this year. It's just saying that we continue to fund it even though we ain't got the money. I don't know how that works, but we have to draw it out of either borrow money to make it happen. And like I said, we've done this every year for the last quite a few years. And we'll pay it off at the end of the year when the tax revenue comes in. Now, have a motion that we adopt the spending resolution. The motion is a second.
Second.
Team over here. Okay, we have a motion and a second of adopt the spending resolution. Anybody else have any questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor signify with that vote your hand. Thank you. All right, you got your foothills. You want to explain that?
Sure. The Foothills Collaborative Operating Agreement, MOU, basically, this is something that we do annually, that we adopt, or we have the board approve this agreement, and this allows, we must have an agreement in place with Foothills in the event that we have any of our students who wish to go there to do night classes, to do credit recovery, initial credits, a lot of different services that they provide that's your non-traditional services. And so we would like to recommend that you approve this agreement so that we've got this in place in the event that this could be a good option for some of our students.
All right, I haven't heard that.
This one is called Restream Pass.
No, it's different. That's will be the next one at GNETS. Yes.
Anybody else? To have a motion that we adopt this agreement.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any other questions You have an agreement on your agenda. Any other questions? All those in favor, signify by that. Thank you. And the next one is the GNETs, and we've talked about that, where we're going with Bear County Social Circle.
In Oconee County. Yes, and we actually, last year was the first year that we were required, that used to be at RESA, Mr. Huey, and those students were served as a part of that program at GNETs actually housed in Clark County. But because of recently passed laws and new legislation, we are required to have regional sites. And I will have to say that last year, this agreement that we had with Barrow County Schools, it worked extremely well. They host, and they are willing to host again. They are extending this now to include Social Circle in Oconee County. So our amount that we contribute will actually be a little bit less, but Ms. Peplow, you probably can provide some more details and explain a little bit more about this program. But I do want to say I'm very appreciative of Barrow County hosting. They have done an exceptional job with something that was new, that was presented to school systems, and this regionally based site has been successful for us.
Our regional program was actually highlighted last year for the other areas, just because it did work so well. We have a fantastic coordinator in place that is busting it every day to make things happen. I believe the cost is cut in half from what it was last year, but no lack of service there. So yeah, so a little celebration for us, but it's great. Barrow is very gracious to host that, but we do all work together very well.
All right, very good. We'll sign that agreement. Okay. And let's see, approve the FY26 federal grants.
Yes, so this was part of the instructional program report, and Ms. Stevens shared with you the specific categories that we have there. That total is just over $1 million. You have the breakdown on the attachment, and this is an annual requirement for the board to approve these allocations, so we can start, and once the budgets are approved at the State Department, we can start expending those funds. So I would like to recommend you approve the FY26 federal grants.
Okay. And they're also on your listed there earlier, and also on the agenda part. Does anybody have any? Let me get a motion first. Do I have a motion that these be approved? Motion, is there a second? Got a second. Does anybody have any questions about any of this? I had mine answered earlier. I really was concerned that we would not receive near as much as we have been receiving because of the shutdown, or at least the beginning of the shutdown of the Department of Education, federal Department of Education. There are things we get from the federal government, but this is basically it right here. Numbers you see there, as far as money is concerned. I've got a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you. The next one is the CTAE.
Yes, sir. Same process. You have those grants listed there. Annual requirement for us to have the board approve them, and there are federal and state funds, as you can see those listed on the attached document.
Okay. They have a motion that the CTAE grants be approved. Motion and a second. Any other questions? Tom, there's some items like agricultural construction bond that are blank. Is that any?
We applied for, we did not get awarded. So we applied for 4 vocational construction bond grants this year. And I was making an assumption the reason that they weren't approved because they're middle school and they're priority to high school right now. So that was we haven't been officially told that, but just I'm crossing my finger when we need them for the high school.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify with their hand. Thank you.
All right.
Approved fundraising request.
Yes, we have, this is our first month for this school year of fundraising requests, and you've got those listed there by school. Also some athletic fundraisers. The principals have reviewed these and approved, and I've also reviewed them, and nothing is out of the ordinary. It's most of them are consistent with what we've done in the past, so I'll be happy to let you skim through those, but I would like to recommend you approve these requests. We will have some additional ones coming before you in September as well.
Pickleball. All in fun. So anybody have it? Let me get a motion. Do I have a motion that we approve all the fundraising requests?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Anybody have any other questions about any of these? Have been approved by the principals and the superintendent. This review.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify with their hand. Thank you. All right, next is the gross maximum price of the covered facility at Memorial Stadium.
All right, you have that presented on the attachment. Carroll Daniel Construction Company came in at the lowest bid for this project, and you have listed there the 3.7, roughly $3.7 million. That is if we're able. You see some alternates listed below, so there are some potential cost savings, as Tom mentioned earlier, with some dirt if we take care of that on our end. So anyway, it's listed here. The total cost not to exceed the $4,017,935. And again, this is for the covered practice facility that will be used for our student athletes, but also other students involved in extracurricular activities. It provides an opportunity, as you know, Tom mentioned, another practice space for various sports throughout the year, but also our fine arts, our extracurricular with our band program that gives them practice facility as well. So I feel certain that this will be a place that is used probably on a daily basis by multiple groups of people. So I would would recommend your approval.
All right, we have the recommendation of the superintendent to have a motion that will approve this GMP.
Motion. I'll second.
Motion and a second. You getting slow. Have a motion and a second. Again, any other discussion or questions?
Yeah, if y'all remember when we first started discussing this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were talking about around $6 million number. So a lot of good work by a lot of people, especially Eddie here recently, as far as getting these numbers down and figuring out some ways to save money.
And he said to me a couple of days ago he's going to keep trying to save some money there too. So we'll see. Yeah, Mr. Hicks.
All right, thank you. We've got a motion and a second. No other questions. All those in favor signify with that. Thank you very much. All right, this is for the academy, the installation of a synthetic turf system for the playground. And does this include, I think the academy was going to put up some money.
That's right. So the total cost of the project is not to exceed $187,440. There is a potential cost savings, and the PTO is actually designated 50,000. So the most the school system would contribute would be around 137,000. So that 187 has not deducted the 50,000. We'll collect that from Miss Ferguson's PTO to go toward this project. But
Smile like you said, sure.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So we'll hold her accountable for that amount. And I will say, again, Eddie has done a great job working with these vendors. At one time, we thought this project was going to cost us around $236,000. We wanted to try to get it right around 200. We're right here at 187, and any excess he has talked them into within this, putting it on each side of the main entrance. So those areas under the windows that need some attention, they're actually going to put the excess there and cover that for Miss Ferguson as well. So it'll look really nice.
Yeah, we were at another meeting yesterday, and I was nominated the elementary school and the academy to be a fundraising for the whole school. They said you did so much better than anybody else. But they didn't take me up on the offer. I'm sorry. Okay. We've got a motion and a second. Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions? I think we've talked about it several times. We had a motion. Wasn't on this one. All right. Let's have a motion on the installation of synthetic turf at the academy.
So move.
There we go.
Second.
You got a second.
That's for the PTO.
That's right.
Motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say. Those that were opposed would have to go ahead and clean the floors at the academy. All right. Approval of the expansion of Syntegics.
All right, this is the alert system. Mr. Parker covered this during the facilities. This, again, is something that I feel like is extremely necessary. I know that not only with just our student athletes, but, you know, our teachers, our staff that are over there, but it's my understanding that our self-contained special needs students use that facility a lot. And so to be able to have that safety feature is certainly something, even during the day as well as athletic events. It's extremely beneficial. So the total cost here, and then again, once this is actually installed, it will cover this new facility that you all have just approved. But the total cost is $35,750, and we will pay that over 3 years.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anybody have any other questions or concerns about this particular one? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by that vote in hand. Thank you. Other country heard from. Approve the direct services fixed price contract. You want to talk about that one?
Yes, sir. So this is this actually allows us to partner with Northeast Georgia RESA for shared services. So this provides specialized services for students with disabilities. It can include occupational therapy. It can include
physical therapy, hard of hearing services, audiology, orientation and mobility, vision. Yes, lots of additional services.
And as Ms. Navis mentioned in the budget, if we were to hire all these individuals, it would cost us well over this amount. So I know that this is definitely a partnership that we want to continue with RESA, and the amount that this will cost us is $247,895.24, and that allows us to meet the stipulations of students' IEPs and the services that they need based on their disabilities.
Okay, do I have a motion that we enter into this agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by the vote. Thank you very much. I think that completes our action items. I know we ran out of money long ago, but we definitely have now. At this time on the agenda, we have public comment. Do we have any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on. We're gonna enter into executive session, but before I do that, as I always do, I like to hear from all of the principals. We just started a new school year, so you got a lot of new things happening. Now, where'd Miss Beckwith go?
She had curriculum night, so she had to slide out at 5.
Yeah, okay. Ms. Joyner, you fire it off.
Okay. It's been a busy, crazy start to the year, but fairly smooth. It feels chaotic in our building for the first 10 days, so it's good to get 10 days under our belt and have gotten them all in the building to the right hallway and the right classroom, fed, every one of them.
Got a big
the right, mostly on the right part of the buses headed out the door. So that's our goal. And it's been a good start, I think. It feels like 5,000 students the first couple of weeks, but we're just under 1,000. But they have really adjusted, and teachers are teaching. We had kindergarten curriculum night. We did it separate. We had cookies, kindergarten, and curriculum on Monday night. We had over 200 parents come to that. And then we had first and second grade curriculum night last night. I don't know the count, but there were a lot of folks in and out the building. Today, our teachers were with Miss Noland for training for the new universal screener during their planning all day. So it's been a good start.
Good start. Very good. Thank you. Ms. Ferguson, come up with that $50,000 now.
We have a busy but great start this year as well. We had our curriculum night this week also, and I had a really great turnout. And we're already talking about some ideas to entice more parents to come next year. We tried something new this year. Our behavior focus for the whole year is ROAR, which is not new. The respectful, on task, always safe, and responsible. So we spent one whole day. I taught a session, Spirit taught a session, Mr. George and Officer Michelle taught a session, and then Ms. Martin, our counselor, taught a session. We each focused on one aspect of ROAR. So every student in the building cycled through and heard the same message. And I've already heard some comments from kids repeating some of the things that we said. So we're very hopeful that starting the year with that same message for every kid is going to help with just overall behavior and management within the building. So we're excited about that. We have already had our leaders for the 5th grade band, orchestra, and choir come visit our 5th graders to start recruiting. So those will be getting started really soon, the next couple of weeks. So we'll have lots of music in our building after school. And I did want to mention the t-shirt you've got, the light blue t-shirt. The back of that t-shirt was designed by one of our current 5th graders. Last year, we allowed the 4th graders to enter their designs into a contest, and Emily Smalley was the winner. We thought she did a great job. And then on the tag, that was our runner-up, and that was Parker Potts. She drew a dragon. And we're going to be using both of those images on just different things throughout the year.
Well, good. Well, thank you. Thank you for those shirts. Very nice. It's nice.
Yes,
I guess I've been in your building more than anybody else. This is lately because of trying to keep up with the construction folks. But
yes, sir. It is beautiful. If you haven't been, come by. We would love to give you a tour. Kids are absolutely loving it, and we had lots of parents in. We too had curriculum night. We call it Thriving at JMS, and had Officer Boatwright come in and speak. He did a fabulous job talking to parents about social media bullying, that kind of thing. And Abby Bickelman stepped up and talked about what's normal for a middle school student, what are signs to look for, those kind of things, and did a phenomenal job speaking. And then we let him go down and talk with teachers a little bit, which was really good. Heard lots of good things. I think people really came to see the new building. Too. We built up the media center and heard lots of good things there. We had tryouts for our musical, which is Elf this year. So lots of kids are excited. And we have a young lady who graduated from Jefferson who's helping us with choreography and getting that ready, and she's doing a great job. Doing that, we have goodness, we have so many things. Our sports have gotten started up, and I like to win. So we are winning some games and having a good time there. We've been trying to start PTO and had about 20 people sign up, so we'll have our first meeting coming up not this week but the next week with those parents who are willing to maybe help us get something like that started at the middle school. A lot of times the kids and parents do a great job with the elementary school, and then when they come to us, they split into different groups and work with whatever their kid is interested in. So it was really nice to know there are some people who are willing to help support all of it. We have the glow run coming up on September 26th, so go ahead and start exercising a little bit and get ready to come out and walk or run with us for that. That's our big fundraiser coming up. So lots and lots of things, good things. Kids are in class. Second day, teachers were teaching, and I can't say how proud that makes me to walk in and see kids engaged and loving what they're learning.
Very good, thank you.
Hey, thank you. We know you really been burning midnight oil with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
She and y'all are our prayer. Thank you.
I should say Adrian and Brandon have done an amazing job.
Well, good. And you got a bunch in your building too, don't you?
Yes, sir.
We did take away a couple of trailers, our mobile instructional units.
We didn't mind sharing that.
Thank you for that. We're figuring it out.
We're filling up our new building.
Mm-hmm. But those hallways are so nice and wide. They can move around a little bit better.
We in the
Some
past
space.
a lot of times where just bumping into somebody made somebody else mad. We can spread out a little bit.
I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good idea. Look at those lockers too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, Miss Hardy?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all start this week?
I feel like we've been going about 3-4 weeks. I don't know. Day 10 seems like not possible, but we've had a great start. We had a pep rally on the first day, which was a great.
I thought that was great. I was there.
Thank you. I thought it was Napier. She gave me an offer then. I said, "You're gonna do it?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Check. Okay, I'll do it." So it was a nice way to start the school year, just on a positive note. The same day they had Club Rush, where the kids got to go around and see how they can get involved, because we all know statistics say more they're involved in, the more success they have. So pushing for that, but it was great. I'd like to say, Mike said, sports are off to a start. I feel like it's an anthill going on, and then we got SAT tests going on. The noise you hear, 1-act auditions, World War II, Scotland applications have started. So busy. I did not do a curriculum night yet. I guess I'm going to do one. We have our senior boot camp with parents and counselors and graduation reps. Will be here at the end of this month. And then I'm signing you all up for a homecoming dance chaperone slot. So just let me know earlier or later. Yes, it's at the Civic Center.
When you do that senior boot camp with parents, make sure you mention the scholarships from the foundation to the parents. Yeah.
Whose students were on this that were in the orchestra?
Middle school.
I thought they were middle school, right?
Yes, sir. Miss Falcon, which is an excellent new hire. She is doing an amazing job with those students and helping out with course, which is not her skill set, but she has taken time to learn and is doing a great job.
It's impressive.
So does that really mean it works? If you build it, they will come?
Mm-hmm.
We built an orchestra.
Gradually, we started off with like 5 or 6, and now we're up to 9. So I'm excited about that. Kids are asking about it, and what are they doing over there? So it's good.
And we wanted 6, right? This is, we could start with 6. We could grow. That's right.
I think starting with Jessica's building and recruiting there is going to really help us too. It's grown our band tremendously, and I think that's
Well, I'll let the music folks determine, but I think in an orchestra, although the strings are what we want, you gotta have other things also.
Yes,
So,
we'll get
yeah. Let me know the first time they perform. All
I
right.
think they're gonna sneak in, as part of the band concert in the fall.
That'd be good. There's people, how about I know you mentioned a while ago about the special needs, but tell us.
Yes, and
what
thank
is it?
you for approving those student contracts. They are vital to our success with our students. Our team has done a little data dig, our two psychologists and I, just to look into some things. I thought it was interesting. I returned to Jefferson 7 years ago. At the end of that school year, we had 489 students receiving special education services. I thought you just might want to note that at the end of last year, we had 570. We have had 34 transfers already this school year. I asked Dr. Metzger if he knew the number from previous years, because that feels like a large number. He did not, but I'm gonna do a little digging on that just to see how that varies from other years. All that to say, that impacts transportation a great deal, and they have been so good to us. We are transporting kids with special needs to different counties across our area. I won't name specific things, but also all throughout the day. So in the morning, in the afternoon, we're running 2 routes to some places. Transportation has been so kind to us to accommodate all of those needs. I trained them on Monday in some other things unrelated to special education, but I'm very grateful for them. They have done a great job. And if you go to the middle school, you should go see Matt Stevenson's suite, because it is something to see. The kids are very excited about that. Thank you for that as well. They have a great little space.
I don't know how to ask this question, so I'll just ask it the way how are your parents? Because I hear a lot of times that the kids are great, but the parents are not so great.
The parents are great. The parents are good. But as in anything, you have some pockets of things that we have to work through. But I think overall the parents are great. We as a system do a great job communicating and having relationships. That's been a little transition for me just because we had 2 of us last year. So trying to uphold having relationships and being open with communication when we can, I think helps. And we plan to continue that, just maybe in slightly different ways. Something else, a parent advisory committee is something that I would like to start. I have some names from some of the principals, and we're going to get some more names just so that we have somebody who's involved in that area. Kind of keeping a pulse check, but also as advocates for what we have going on in our program. So we'll probably hear some updates about that in the upcoming months.
Very good. And thank you for what you're doing.
Sure.
I want to say Miss Hicks, not Dr. Hicks or
Yeah,
Mr. Hicks.
Not doctor.
Yeah, Miss Hicks. How's the food service doing?
Things are going very well. We're, as with all of the schools, off the chain. I was very excited to be able to introduce some new menu items to our students. I've been getting a lot of really great feedback on that. I've actually spent a lot of time the past 10 days in the schools, and I've had a lot of students have come up and actually expressed how much they love the menu items. Today we had Jefferson hot chicken, which went over very well at our upper grades, and teriyaki chicken at our younger grades, which was very fun. And then you guys actually got to sample one of our new menu items today.
Oh, that's good.
It's a brookie, which our kids were super excited about, and we served that for our first day. And I was really excited to find a brownie mix that actually fits within our nutritional guidelines. So that is a whole grain brownie, which I thought tasted pretty good for a whole grain brownie.
That's really
Yes. I can eat about 5 of them.
I'm gonna say, but 2 people to my side have not eaten their share.
I recommend it. It's very good.
all right. Well, thank all of y'all, and thank all of y'all for starting up school again.
May I ask who brought us this?
The high school.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, thank y'all. Anybody on the board have anything else to say? Or with a question? While the band's playing. We'll, okay then, could I have a motion that we go into executive session?
So moved.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank y'all very much for being here, and we'll see you Friday night.
Thank y'all.
Do we need to sign anything?
I love it.
Well, if you go to elementary school, it says Jefferson Elementary.